What's up, guys, and welcome back to Torpedoes and Tarantulas. So, I just realized that I have not done an update for you guys on my new jumpers here lately. In fact, you guys didn't even know that I had rehoused them, but I did. I did it in a rush before having to leave to go on the road for work, so I didn't video that. I apologize, but we're going to go through each and every one of these, talk about them a bit, maybe offer them a fly, and just kind of go through the collection and how they're doing. So sit tight, guys. All right, so first off, everyone is doing fine and dandy. So now we will go ahead and start. This is a wild-caught subadult Philippa Edgiest. This is the male, which unfortunately it's going to be very hard to see the top side of him, which is the prettiest between the cloudiness of the enclosure and the water droplets, because I just watered them, but you can kind of see some of those oranges. Let's get a fly and see if we can't get him out in the open. Alright, so luckily we got in a better position where we can see him now, and isn't he beautiful? So I've got a fly. Let's put it in and let's see if he's ready to eat. I have been rendering these flies flightless, basically. I will not go into the gory details of that, but they cannot fly away, which is a good thing, because feeding flies, sometimes they can tend to get loose in your house, and they're harder to control. I'm going to steer the fly back to the spider if I can, because I can't spend too much time on each and every spider. But he is definitely interested in the fly. And now he's got it. Wow, that was a pretty awesome takedown, guys. I would say so. So there is my male Philippa Edgiest now happily eating a fly. So up next is his hopefully mate later on. This is a wild-caught subadult Philippa Edgiest female. Right down in the bottom of her enclosure, I will take the lid off and show her to you, kind of. She's underneath that flower. You can see she's a lighter, dustier orange than him, but she is just as beautiful. So let's get a fly, see if she wants to eat. Alright, so here we go with the fly. And it looks like she may have done a bit of a takedown, very quick takedown, off camera there, underneath the petal of that flower. If she did, I apologize for that, but look at her. She's just as equally beautiful, and you can see she does, in fact, have the fly. So that is the second successful jumping spider feeding. Isn't she adorable? Let's move on. So next up, we have one of 4 Philippa Regius. These are from Stephen Parsons' brood. This is a female juvenile. These are captive bred, so that's a good thing. She's back there behind the flower. Having a hard time kind of showing you her, but there she is. Let's get a fly and see if we can get her out in the open, shall we? There she is, just under the flower. Let's see if she's hungry. Yes, no, maybe so. She's slowly starting to creep. Oh, and she misses. Knock the fly back down in there and give her a second chance. Look at the markings on these guys. They're just so gorgeous. I can't wait till these guys reach adulthood, because I would love to breed this spider. They are so awesome. Sorry about the excitement there, guys. Great shot, though. Another good takedown. Another happy spider. Going to soon have a full belly. Let's move on. Unfortunately, we may not get to see the next one, but It is, again, a captive bred juvenile Philippa Edgiest female from Stephen Parsons' brood, and she has made herself a web hammock right there, so I don't know if we will be able to see her very well or get her to come out, but focus, there she is right down there. Let's offer her a fly and see what happens. All right, let's put a fly in. Of course, no movement from her yet, and the fly, of course, starts to climb straight up the enclosure, but we will just knock it back down in there. Meanwhile, we're moving the flower around and disturbing her. And I'll go ahead and talk about that. The fly keeps trying to get out of the cup. You can see that I did rehouse them. Like I said, it was in a rush. I had other things to do to get ready to leave for work that week. But I did rehouse them, and you can see I bought them some substrate. I say that with air quotes because a lot of people think that jumping spiders need substrate or soil, when in fact they do not. They are not necessarily a ground spider. Sorry, guys. So they don't really need substrate. As you can see, they build a little web hammock and they hide in that. So they really don't need any dirt because they don't tunnel or burrow or anything like that. But she has definitely gotten her attention, drawn to that fly now. Let's see what happens. So I put a flower. Oh, she missed. I put a flower in each one of these enclosures. And I taped it to the side so that she's finally out. So that, I could get it off later. If I used hot glue, it would probably tear up the cup. So she has missed it, and the fly is not anywhere near her, so I'm going to move on for the sake of this video. Now, this next jumper, I don't know how good of a view we'll get of it either, but this is a wild-caught juvenile Philippa Soni. You will notice that there is no sex designation on that label because we don't know what sex it is. You can't really see it, but it is on the flower petal there in the center of that flower. I don't know if we'll get it to come out for us or not. Let me see what I can do. So I convinced it to come out. Let's see if we can convince it to eat. And again, another successful feeding. That's 4 out of 5 so far. Not bad. Not bad at all. There is my Philippa Soni. I do not know if this is the one that made a break for it in the unboxing or not, but look how gorgeous this little guy is. See those little greenish fangs? And it gets a better grip on it. The fly's not going anywhere. Awesome. Another happy spider. Let's move on. And the next jumper is another Regius or regal jumping spider. This time we have a male Regius, again from Stephen Parsons' brood. It is in a little web nest hammock thing right in there. Let me see if I can convince it to come out. All right, I've got a fly. Let's see if we can get this little guy to eat for us. Didn't hardly flinch when the fly went by it. Here we go again. Oh, it noticed at that time. I have 2 males and 2 female Regius in my collection, so I am really hoping, especially maybe by spring, to be able to breed these guys. They're not really native to my region of the state, so I can't go out and find these guys in the wild. The Apache anse and the Soni are not native to my area either, so that's kind of why I bought these spiders from Holly. And if you guys don't know Holly and Matt, then you got to go check them out. HWN Jumpers on Facebook, especially if you like jumping spiders. Miss Holly can hook you up with a jumping spider. Might take this guy a little while to find and take down the fly, but he eventually will, so let's move on. So this next jumper, we most certainly will not be seeing a feeding out of it. This is my other wild-caught juvenile Philippa Soni. and it's going to be very, very hard to see it, but it has made itself a web cocoon in between a couple of the petals on the flower. I wish I could do something about the glare, but you can kind of see how there's two petals glued together right in this area here, and that's where the spider is, and I don't think it's going to come out. I will put a fly in there for it, but I don't think we're going to get to see it, so let's move on.